Alrighty then. Here we go. Da 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 da. I got the title right this time, right? Yeah, chapter 1099. That's the one. Can't wait till next chapter. Chapter 1100. We're going to start getting into binary code pretty soon in One Piece. Chapter 1011. Or perhaps chapter 1111. I don't know if it says anything in binary, probably not, but, you know a chapter, a manga is doing pretty good when we start getting into binary code-like chapters. Hey, everybody, come on in. Good morning, all. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Delta. Good morning, Sirzur. Good morning, Addie. Good morning, Arthur. Good morning, Baby Goat. It's just an actual baby goat that just figured out how to use the computer and is now just, good morning, Elizabeth Swan. Good morning, Jordan. Good morning, Duke. Good morning, Jason with an I. Good morning, Soph. What is... Okay, I'm starting to think some of these are not real names. Come on now. Arthur? Who the hell is named Arthur in the year 2023? What is this? The Middle Ages or something? Alejandro, that's not a real name. Drew, that's not a real name. Thato, now that's a real name. That's a name. Hi, Thato. Top of the morning to you. Yes. Good morning, all. Today, we're going to be talking about chapter 1099 of One Piece. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. If you live in the United States, if not, you probably didn't celebrate Thanksgiving, so I just hope you had an all right Thursday, I guess, and a Friday, I suppose. And today is Saturday, unless it's Sunday where you are, in which case, happy Sunday. Whichever time of the world it is. Arthur is a middle-aged name. Yeah, like that king guy that probably didn't exist. But still, how was the turkey? Turkey was good. I made turkey Thursday. My mom came up. We had some turkey. And then last night, my friends came down. And my friend Rob brought a ham. It was a really good ham. I had a bunch of side dishes. My other friend brought this corn bread meal thing that was really good. We had that. My mom she had some cake she brought down, so we had that too. It was a good time. Then we played D&D last night. That was a fun time. That thumbnail of deflated Luffy... Yeah, so, I guess that's not about the chapter, but I thought I should put it in the thumbnail just for the sake of, that was another thing that happened this week. It was really fun because a lot of my friends that don't read or watch One Piece but know what I do are like, hey, check this out. And I'm like, ha! And I was like, that'll be a meme for a while. I'm glad we got a meme. I'm glad, something happened there and it was like, all right, Luffy's got a bucket hat. I don't live in the U.S., but I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Much respect from Australia. Thank you. I had a pretty good Thanksgiving, yeah. Okay, this might be a controversial take. I don't really care for turkey all that much, in terms of, it's just pork is better, steak is better, chicken is better, seafood is better. When it comes to turkey, even a well-prepared turkey, it's okay. I made a turkey. I was like, all right, this is an all right turkey. But if it was a choice between eating a turkey or eating some good steaks or lobster or something, I'd be like, damn, yeah, give me the lobster or salmon or shrimp or really any type of seafood. The OG of One Piece YouTube. Hey, thanks, kid. Good morning. Any chance you think Blackbeard is going to steal Saturn's Devil Fruit as his third fruit? Blackbeard definitely has his finger on the scales as far as Egghead is concerned. He's gonna there was his ship there, so something's gonna happen with that. So not sure if he's specifically going after, because there's a lot of strong devil fruits there. What if Blackbeard gets Kizaru's fruit? Because you'd think that Blackbeard, being the guy that controls darkness, would be like, all right, the dude that has the power of lights. If there was ever an opposite reaction devil fruit to the one I have, that would probably be the one. So he might be going after Kizaru's devil fruit, honestly. What would be the Grand Fleet's reaction to Luffy's Fever card burning and then suddenly not burning after he awakened Gear 5th? I think they probably figured out pretty quickly, because they haven't been members of the Grand Fleet for long, that Luffy is constantly getting in battles where he almost dies. So I think probably what happened was it's like Luffy's Vivre card would be like more like elastic than he is. It would be like, it's back, and it's back, and it's back. And so maybe Bartolomeo, the first time it happened, would be like, what? Like, honestly, the first time it happened might have been like when Luffy's fighting Katakuri at Whole Cake Island, and it starts to maybe, and then it comes back, and then it goes away. And then Bartolomeo might have been freaking out, like, I gotta go save Luffy. And then it's just like, wait, what's going on with this Vivre card? It just keeps going back and forth, you know? So Luffy's always getting in fights like that. So unless it gets really, really close to death, I don't know if they'll actually get moving toward him. Greetings from France. Comment allez-vous? Do you think Luffy's Vivre card is elastic because it comes from his nails? That would be funny. Yeah, I mean, like, they have a little bit of maybe of the traits of the people. Like, Big Mom's Vivre card was able to extend the power of her Soul Fruit a little bit. So maybe. I don't know. Luffy's Vivre card is literally the Mera no Moy. It's just, it's always constantly burning at least a little bit. Ever thought doing about more reaction vids? Would like to have seen your reaction to Digital Circus or TFS's Boo Bits. I've never really dipped my toe into reaction YouTube, you know? Like, I remember back in the day, back when One Punch Man first aired, like 2015, first season One Punch Man, Madhouse, great series. I did a couple of reaction videos to that on my vlog channel. They have all since they did really well, too. Like, they got, like, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 views within, like, a week. But they were all copyright claimed. They all got taken down. That was back. But, you know, that was back in 2015, so a little bit of a different time period. I don't know if I could get away with doing reactions with that. Now, I wouldn't do it on the main channel. It would probably be on, like, I don't know. I don't want to do it on Twitch either because I just got back from being banned on Twitch. I'd rather not poke the bear on that one. Maybe Kick. Tekking, why was it stated Dragon was at Logtown? Was it stated why Dragon was at Logtown? No, it was never really stated why he was at Logtown, but I honestly think it was maybe just to see Luffy off. Luffy had just gotten his first bounty of 30 million. Dragon saw that, and he's like, okay, well, if he just beat Arlong and he's leaving the East, he's probably going to go to Logtown to stop one more time. Maybe Dragon went to Logtown just to see his son off. Not because Dragon's a great father or anything. Maybe just he's like, I haven't seen Luffy. I haven't seen my son in about 17 years. Yeah, I'll go see what's going on with him. What'd you get banned for Twitch for? Way back, I tried to play a game on their ban list called Yandere Simulator, and they didn't like that. I didn't even get a chance to play it. They banned me before that even happened. But yeah, I finally got back after like 7 years. Dear God, don't stream on Kick. All right. But yeah, maybe I'll do reaction stuff. I don't know. I kind of did reaction stuff with the Halloween stream recently. You know, oh yeah, we can just do this now. We can just do fan fun. Aha, see, we can do this. Now I can just look at all the super chats in one convenient location. Salute Tekking. Ever thought about doing more reality? I just read that one. Akainu may have kidnapped Ginny and took her to the Celestial Dragons. That connects him to Bonnie, Kuma, and Dragon. Yeah, I don't think it was the Celestial Dragon that, like, kidnapped Ginny, because they never really leave. They wouldn't do that kind of stuff. And I think Ginny was strong enough to deal with, like, the regular Marines. So it was probably a high-ranking Marine or a member of Cypher Pole Zero or something that captured Ginny and brought her back to Marijois. I hope Oda finds the deflated balloon hilarious. I think he would. I honestly don't see any reason anybody would be really mad about this. Like, a lot of the articles I was reading had it in this very negative tone of, like, One Piece fans are, you know, besides themselves as the balloon is ruined. And I'm like, that wasn't my reaction when I saw it. I'm a pretty big One Piece fan. I saw it and I'm like, Luffy's got a bucket hat. All right, that'll be a meme for a couple of years. If Luffy, look at it this way, if the balloon was perfectly fine and it just completed the parade route perfectly normal, nothing happened, it would have just been like, all right, we got a balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. All right, that's cool. But the fact that happened and it made him a bucket hat, that's funny. I think that's hilarious. Super bad. All right, well, yeah, I never actually tried it. I've actually never even been on Kick. I've never even looked at the actual website. I don't even know what it is. Briggs told me about it, and that was it, pretty much. Yeah. Do you ever think Eneru was the first Awakened Logia? I don't know if he was the first Awakened Logia, like, in the story that we see. Yeah, maybe, possibly, sure. Maybe Crocodile might have been, too. Well, it's a little bit debatable because Crocodile was, like, in a desert country and he was using powers that looked like awakenings, but that was just because he was in a desert country. Like, if you fight Green Bull in the woods, in like a super deep forest, right? Or if you fight Aokiji in Antarctica, like even if he's not awakened, he's still gonna kick your ass, you know? What was that? Why haven't you posted a video reviewing the live-action One Piece series on Netflix? I've posted 5 of those. I just haven't gotten to episode 6 yet. I'll get to it when I feel like getting around to it. All the Straights should get a Gear 5 combo attack with Luffy. Usopp could get Gear 5 Rubber Band of Doom. That would be cool, because it kind of reminded me a lot of Black Clover when Asta does the, you know, he gives everybody the anti-magic later on. I would say that's a spoiler, but that just happened. That happened like 4 months ago because Black Clover's been on a hiatus for a bit. Don't think YouTube is strict with reactions to YouTube content. A Tekking React series would be a cool thing to see. Yeah, I definitely think it's a little bit better than it was back in like 2015 when One Punch Man first came out. Also, the way that I was doing those reactions was pretty stupid. I pretty much just had the episode playing in reverse down here in the corner. It was pretty obvious. Yeah. Okay, Hyena, I looked on Twitch and I saw, like, I unbanned your, what's it called? Your username on Twitch. There was the only one that came up as Hyena. I unbanned it. And if you still doesn't work on Twitch, then maybe contact Twitch, because yeah, I've done all I can do on that end. There's a list of like, okay, here's all the people that are banned. Looked up Hyena, unbanned him, and then yeah, if you still can't see the streams, that's the yeah, I don't know what else to do, because I only have the one thing for that. Let's see. Yeah, that's definitely a spoiler. Damn it! What is the rule for spoilers? Is it just like anything that happens in the manga, even if it came out like a year ago, that's still a spoiler? Okay. We need to have a spoiler conference. We need to get together. Everybody that's anybody needs to get together and have a big conference and be like, all right, we've gone through the numbers. We've run the numbers. We've done every statistic we can possibly imagine. If something is within 6 months, 2 days, and 14 hours, that is considered a spoiler. Anything beyond that. Spoiler rule is 2 days. All right, you heard it first here from Flop Toshi. Yeah, contact Twitch about it. I looked at, I mean, I could even pull it up right now. Twitch. Let me pull up my Twitch really quick. Because your account's just Hyena, right? Or Mr. Hyena. Well, hold on. Let me pull up my Twitch really quick. Creator dashboard. All right, what do we got here? Copyright managers, settings, moderation. All right. Banned chatters. Here we go. I'm just going to type in that. I typed in, yeah. Yeah, nothing's coming up on my end. Banned users. Mr. underscore Hyena. Mr. underscore Hyena. Nope, nothing's coming up. Nope. Hold on a minute. Let me just show you this. New computer's working out great. Yep, see? Nope, nothing comes up. So, might be a Twitch issue. You think Kuma's emotional and physical pain can kill a Gorosei at this point? Oh, yeah. I think that's what a lot of people are debunking on. Like, he gathered not just emotional pain, but just the physical pain of going up to Marij while getting shot at by Marines, getting melted by Akainu, and then going straight there, and then boom! Blowing everybody up. Probably just detonating everybody. Teching finally on that 4090. It's only a 4080, unfortunately. Moderation settings. That's what I'm in. I'm literally, that's his moderation settings right there. Yep. Chat verification, chat rules, unban requests, blah, 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 blah. Stop ban users from viewing the video. I don't even have that turned on. There is a feature on Twitch that's, you can turn it on. Stopped banned users from viewing the stream, but I don't even have that turned on. I don't even have that enabled. Well, I don't know. Namor versus Bradley. When you say Bradley, I just instantly think of King Bradley from Full Metal Alchemist. In which case, I'm thinking Bradley would probably win, yeah. You think Panda Man is the one telling the story? I would actually love that. I would love if the twist at the end is it's actually Panda Man telling the One Piece story, yeah. Okay, but what will happen in next chapter, chapter 1100? I think the flashback's going to end. I think we're going to be about halfway through the chapter, and then it's going to go back to Egghead, and we're going to have some big end of Egghead where maybe somebody might show up. It might be Dragon, you know, because Dragon showed up at chapter 100. Everyone said he's going to show up at chapter 1100. And, you know, Vegapunk was talking to Dragon. At least Shako was talking to Dragon at the beginning of the arc. So there you go. I mean, it's kind of opened up right there that, like, Dragon might be like, Vegapunk's gonna die, I'm gonna save him! And then he goes and, you know, he shows up and maybe he doesn't see Luffy, or maybe Luffy's, like, unconscious after using Gear 5th, so he doesn't see his dad. But, you know, Dragon shows up, Robin would know who he is. Robin just kind of vanished. Robin was injured, granted, but, you know, Robin and Kaku have just been kind of taken out of the arc for right now. Have you been watching Undead Unluck? I saw the first 2 episodes of Undead Unluck. Really liking it so far. I like how they censored Andy's dick. That's always fun. Oh, good old Andy's dick. I think the opening song is good. I think it's a good series so far. Yeah, I'm really pumped. So Undead Unluck. I'm not gonna spoil what happens later, but it's a series that, like, gets really good at a really far, like, normally I would say something about a series like, oh, if you watch the first 10 episodes, it gets good. If you read the first 50 chapters, it really hits its stride. Like with One Piece, I would say it hits its stride at Arlong Park, and that kind of goes on a path from there. It just kind of builds and builds and builds. Undead Unluck is this weird creature where, like, I would say the point it gets really good is, like, the current arc, which just started, like, a little over a year ago. You know? So, yeah, you missed some super chats. I missed a lot of super chats, but it's okay because we have this now. But I'm trying to balance the super chat and the regular chat because I don't want to, like, just focus on one or the other. Like, just read the super chats all stream because that's, like, the regular chat. Then they don't really get a chance to, like, you know, I don't get a chance to read anything there and vice versa. So I have to do this weird juggling act. So I'm aware. All right, Namor versus Bradley in terms of, like, One Piece D&D Bradley. Well, no one can see Bradley, so Namor just loses, all right? Yeah, he just shows up and just stabs him in the back. Have you played Spider-Man 2 on PS5? No, but I just finished Baldur's Gate 3 for the second time, so I'm probably going to look for a new game, and that might be it. That might be it, because I'm hearing really good things about Spider-Man 2. I think Bonnie dies and Carrot gets her devil fruit. I mean, I like Carrot, but even so, I'm even kind of getting to the point where it's like, yeah, she's not going to be in the story anymore. Well, no, that's not true, because I did just make a video on what if Law and Beppo end up at Zoe and they end up seeing Carrot there. If Bonnie dies, Carrot gets her fruit. It's a long theory I can't explain here, but there's a lot of connections with Rabbit with time powers. There's also a lot of connections with rabbits and the snow, so maybe she'll get Monet's fruit. But I don't think Carrot's going to be overly relevant anymore. I think the best that we could hope for if you're a fan of Carrot is the end of the story, big epic war happening at Laugh Tale, pirates, marines, revolutionaries, shit's going bonkers, and then, like, Zunisha rocks up and just, it's time to get Elephant, you know, and then Carrot and all the Minks dive off and just start attacking like crazy. Like, that might be the best we get. How many chapters do you think One Piece is going to have? I don't know how many chapters, but I kind of want it to end in 2027 because that'll be 30 years exactly. You could calculate well, I don't know if you could calculate exactly because of all the breaks that are happening now. Oda taking more rests in between chapters. But I don't know if Oda has a specific chapter number in mind. Like, I don't know if Oda's sitting there like, it has to end at chapter 1300 exactly. I mean, maybe he does, but maybe it just might be like, yeah, whenever I get to the end, what is it, chapter 1272? All right, chapter 1272 is the last one, you know? I'm a Spider-Man expert if you need info. I love Spider-Man. I've played a lot of Spider-Man games back in the day. I don't even know if I would care much about the lore playing the game. It was just like, all right, Spider-Man. I get the general premise. There we go. How many chapters do you... Oh, I just answered that one. Was finally able to catch you live stream. Cheers from India. Nothing but respect and appreciation for what you do. P.S. When are you drawing again? Loved your drawing streams. I should draw again. I should draw on this one. Why not? Yeah, I could draw at the end of this stream. We should do another drawing thing. I need to get a tablet. You know what that's what I really need to get. I need to get a tablet, like a drawing tablet. Doesn't even have to be a good one, just like one that I just have just to do that. So then I can at least plug that into my computer, my awesome new computer, and then I could draw, and then you could see what I'm drawing in real time. I should actually get one of those. My friend's a tattoo artist, and she actually told me about the one she uses. So, I should get that. Let's see. Thoughts on Bonnie Rule 30? I mean, you know, there's a character, and then Oda reveals, by the way, she's 12, and it's like, all right, well, just moving on forward, I guess. If you're on board with the 12 Zodiac being the Straw Hats, do you think Bonnie will join the crew as the rabbit and not Carrot? I don't think Bonnie's going to join the crew. Bonnie's not going to join the crew. Carrot's not going to join the crew at this point. If Carrot was going to join, it would have been at the end of Wano. The 12 Zodiacs being the Straw Hats. I like that premise. But I just don't think either of those characters are going to join. You think Kuma's emotional and physical pain can kill a Gorosei at this point? I mean, it's going to be a big explosion that might have a good chance of doing it. Carrot isn't on Zoe. I strongly believe she was consumed by Caribou and she will show up in Egghead soon. Dude, if that happens, if like all of a sudden Carrot just pops out of Caribou, like, oh god, I could barely breathe. Just like, oh no. Yeah, no, that's not the direction I want this to go. Absolutely not. Don't think YouTube is as strict with reactions? I mean, maybe I'll give it a shot, but if I give it a shot, I'm doing it on the side channel. I'm not doing it on the main channel. Answered that one, answered that one, answered that one. Answered that one about Luffy's Fever card. Just double checking all these. Yeah, I got all these. Okay, good. There we go. I will go back to this Super Chats at a moment. Okay. I'm going to go back to this through a little bit. Draw Robin. I should. Bonnie is definitely joining the crew. No one is joining the crew this late. I mean, I don't know if anyone's not going to join the crew. Like literally, I just don't feel like Bonnie's going to join. Like, I just don't, like, with Yamato, I was like, all right, I could see Yamato joining because Yamato literally was like, can I join your crew? Or I'm going to join your crew or something like that. And I'm like, all right. With Bonnie, I just don't see it. Vivi, I would see more. I think Vivi is perfect. Vivi is ideal because she's there. She's at Morgan's little flying tea kettle, which is in the sky, which is floating around, right? And they have the Black Den Den Mushi that were listening into all the conversations on Egghead. So they are within range of Egghead, all right? So Vivi's there. What else is she gonna do? All right, her dad is dead. She can't go back home. Freaking Eam and everybody basically want her dead or want her back at Marishwa at the very least. Vivi, and also, Vivi is already a member. She's already established as a member. Instead of introducing a brand new character, I guess Bonnie's not a brand new character, but instead of introducing a brand new character, just have Vivi join back up and be like, I'm a proper crew member now. Let's go. Final journey. Like, that's perfect to me. I have a thought about the latest chapter regarding Bonnie's devil fruit. Do you think that Bonnie's desire to get older attracted the fruit to her? Yeah, actually I do. So I made a short about this because I was like just rereading the chapter. It was Thanksgiving night. I was rereading the chapter and I had this idea. And it was like, and somebody's probably come up with the idea before me because it's like, you know, a bunch of people are fans of One Piece. But I was thinking of this thing and I was like, okay, Vegapunk talked all about fruit desire, you know, like having the idea of desire and you get a power. Now, he was being very vague with that. It's like, does that mean like if you have a desire, the fruit is manifested somewhere in the world or something like that? Somebody really wanted to be a jacket, so the jacket was created, something along those lines. Now, in the case with the Toshi no Mi, Bonnie did not create that because it was in the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia. The old man looked through the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia, so that was in there. Okay, so it wasn't like something like Bonnie wished for that power and the power existed, okay? The fruit was already in circulation. But what I'm thinking is, if you have a very strong desire to get the fruit, to get a specific power, that fruit will gravitate towards you when it's reincarnated. Whether it be either the fruit reincarnates as an actual fruit in like the area, or you just get the power. It doesn't even do the middleman with the fruit. It's just Bonnie had a desire to grow up because she believed when she was 10 she would just be cured. So she's like, I want to grow up fast so I can, go out to sea and travel with my dad and see the whole world, okay? And so she desired this every night. She wanted that power. And then all of a sudden, we didn't see a devil fruit. We didn't see her eat it. She just has the power now. In fact, the implication seems to be Bonnie, as a little kid, was like running around the church, doing laps, and then all of a sudden became an adult, like out of nowhere. Like she didn't eat a fruit or anything. She just got the power. Also very similar to the way that Blackbeard got the Gura Gura no Mi. Blackbeard just kills Whitebeard, throws a cloak over him, goes in the cloak, comes back, has the power. What if it's not even a thing with a fruit? It's just the fruits, like, the previous user died. So in the case with Whitebeard, the previous user of the Gura Gura no Mi died. The essence of the fruit, there's something that has to exit Whitebeard to reincarnate, like the soul of the fruit or the essence of the fruit or whatever you want to call it. It's something that's ethereal and invisible, but it escapes them and it has to migrate to another, like, host. When Smiley died at Punk Hazard, it left Smiley and it traveled into an apple and it turned the apple into a devil fruit, okay? So if that's the power, then what if, Whitebeard dies, Blackbeard throws the cloak, and Blackbeard's like, I desire the Gura Gura no Mi, and does something, and then the power just goes right into him because he's the closest person and he has the desire. Now, when it comes to a devil fruit, where nobody has a really strong desire, because there's so many devil fruits, like let's say way back in the day, somebody wanted to be a jacket, all right? And so they got the power of the jacket fruit. And then they died. Well, nobody else in the world really wants to be a jacket. So it might have just spawned somewhere else in the world, some random location, or the nearest fruit to wherever the user died. Maybe like when Smiley died, not a lot of people in the world were like, I want to be an axolotl. Maybe some people did, but there was no overall strong desire to be an axolotl. So the fruit just reincarnated. The power just reincarnated into the nearest fruit. Vivi isn't close to Egghead. Yes, she is. She is, because they were listening in on a conversation. Morgans and Vivi and Wapple were listening in on a conversation with the Marines at Egghead over a black Den Den Mushi. The black Den Den Mushis are for wiretapping and are noted in the story to be very limited range. You have to be within a general vicinity of the place that you're wiretapping or you can't hear them. Because there's been other points in the story where they're trying to listen in and they're too far away. So it's like, Baroque works, everyone dead, crocodile. It's like that. They were listening into the conversation. They are close to Egghead. Absolutely. Yeah, so that's an idea for devil fruit reincarnation. Also the idea that zones are sentient, so they might have a whole different rule. Like they might be actually aware and might be able to get to choose their new users in another way. It's like how people with similar goals inherit the will of those who die. Bonnie inherited the will of the concept of age, like Luffy inherited Roger's will. Yeah, and it's a very common theme in One Piece, the idea of the inherited will. That's something that's been in One Piece since day one, with the Straw Hat and Shanks and everything like that. So, like, I think it might be capable. Like, if you have the desire to have a power, a very specific power strong enough, that fruit will just get reincarnated right into you. It won't even turn into a devil fruit. It'll just go from previous user to you, the new user that's the most like just has the desire for it. I like that idea. It creates different avenues. It's very similar, like, well, not very similar, but I liken it to in Attack on Titan when a Titan shifter dies. If they get eaten by another human, that human will become the new Titan shifter, right? However, if a Titan shifter dies without passing it on, without getting eaten by another person, it'll just get the power will just get inherited by a random baby somewhere in the world. We'll just be born with the power, okay? But the power doesn't, it's like energy. It cannot be created nor destroyed. It ends up somewhere no matter what. But there's different rules to how it's reincarnated. Yeah. So some people have been saying that. Some people have said, like, couldn't it be that Bonnie had eaten the fruit? Like, maybe Ginny ate the fruit and it got carried on to Bonnie. That creates a whole question of, like, if a pregnant woman eats a devil fruit, does the baby get a power? Like, Big Mom had the soul fruit, and she had 87 kids, and none of them have powers that are like the soul fruit. So I'm gonna say that's not how that works. People have said maybe Bonnie, as like a little newborn baby, ate the fruit at Marijois, and she's just realizing the power now. I don't think those work as explanations. I don't really put a lot of water in those personally. Yeah. Do you think it's weird that the age fruit didn't age Bonnie's illness? Maybe her powers aren't time powers, but limited transformation powers. They're not. So the disease is like, I guess, a separate thing from that. Like, the disease has to have like some type of like light in order to expand. Now, it was going to kill her no matter what, but that's going to follow a very specific. We're starting to get into like biology and stuff in One Piece. Like, if does the age fruit also expand your biological, like, I don't know, probably not. In some cases yes, in some cases no. There it is, right? Yeah. She was definitely cured before learning how to make fake futures. Yeah, I mean, like, not fake futures, just parallel. Not necessarily fake, just other directions life could have went. So, yeah, I mean, Vegapunk's going to cure her. We all know that's going to happen. Vegapunk's going to cure Bonnie, and she's probably going to put that little piercing below her eye, so she's like, oh, it's my jewelry. I'm going to keep it there. Yeah. Newborn babies can't take bites out of fruit. Yeah, that's another reason, too. But, you know, it's One Piece. You could just, like, I'm going to mush up this devil fruit into baby food and then feed it to this baby. More devil fruit encyclopedia lore. I do love the fact that this book, that's apparently not super common in the One Piece world, the devil fruit encyclopedia, it's around, but we saw Sanji have a copy, but Sanji was a member of the Germa, so it makes sense that they would have a copy. They're this huge kingdom, right? This random old man had it, like, what's going on here? You know, Devil Fruit Encyclopedia, I got this book from my grandpappy back during the war. You know, it's like something like that. So I find it funny that a random old man in the South has a copy. It's maybe not as rare as I thought it would be, but it's also not super common either. Did you ever finish Way of Kings? I would love to hear you talk about it. No, I haven't, unfortunately. Sorry. Dude, I have so many, like, I'll say it again. I mean, so many recommendations for stuff. Casey the other day was like, have you seen Umbrella Academy? And I'm like, no, I really want to check it out. She's like, you need to see the first episode at least of Umbrella Academy. And I'm like, okay, I will watch it. And now I have that on the list. Retired Ohara researcher. Maybe he is. Maybe he's like, I survived Ohara. Now I have this book. Yeah. I like to think there's a couple of survivors of Ohara. Like, was every single scholar on Ohara when it got Buster called? Like, they're archaeologists. They go out in the world and explore. Yeah. A fellow Cosmere enjoyer, I see. I read, like, the first 2 chapters of Way of Kings. I gotta get back in. I'm almost done finishing the Joe Abercrombie First Law trilogy. I'm almost done with that. I'm halfway through the last book. I'm almost done. I'm gonna finish that, and before I move on to another, I think I'm gonna move back to Sanderson after this. Yes, probably the next book I read after this, Argument for Kings, is probably gonna go to Way of Kings. I'm just gonna read books that have King in the title from now on. Everyone found Pell's Hospital. Yep. Yeah, I'm excited for the return of Black Clover in December. What is that, in Jump Giga, I think? I'm excited for that. Umbrella Academy is mid. I hear a lot of good things about it. I've always wanted to see it. I always see it advertised on Netflix. I'm like, I do want to check it out at some point. I remember watching you as a sophomore in high school, and I just graduated college a few months ago. You're the best man, made me happy in bad times. Oh, I'm glad I could help you out with that. You know, I'm very grateful I have fans that will just come in here and be like, hey, I was going through rough times in my life and you helped me. And I'm looking at myself just like, I don't know how I managed to do that by just talking about a story with a guy with a straw hat and a brick in my background. But if I could help anybody out with it, it makes me feel at least like, all right, at least what I'm doing here is affecting some people's lives in a positive way. And that's good enough for me. When is the next One Piece fan fiction reading? I don't know. I was doing a lot of Yuri and Yaoi ones of those, but not any in a while. Yeah, Black Clover's going to come out 4 chapters a year, but it's going to be like 70 or 80 pages per chapter because that's the way those quarterly magazines work. Yeah. So thank you. I really appreciate it, guys. Love you all. When is the Blackbeard ship gonna be mentioned at Egghead? I'm sure when we get out of the flashback. You should buy Kizaru's sword. I'm gonna go make a sword out of light. Jujutsu Kaisen. I stopped after episode 9. I gotta get back into it. Ohara is like the Jedi Star Wars. 99% success rate still means 100% survivors. That's what I mean. Like, not every single archaeologist was on Ohara when it got bombed. There had to be other people in the world that learned about it later and were like, okay, we're going to hide now. You know? Wouldn't it be a lightsaber? Nope, made completely out of light. Love the thumbnail. Thank you. Tekking has a cult now. No, my fans are pretty good. They haven't gotten into cult behavior yet. Breakfast. Nope, haven't seen Revengers. Yet. Yeah. Just got here. Starting a cult? Yeah. Yeah, I guess we are. Let me finish my power bar and I'll sorry to eat on stream, but I'm hungry. I'm hungry, man. I don't know what to tell you. Listen. Yes, I'm going to watch the Doctor Who 60th today. I think it's on Disney Plus at 2 or 2:30 Eastern time. I'm going to check that out. Anyway, I am a dude that when I'm hungry, I eat food. All right? Like even like yesterday, not yesterday, but Thursday, right? I'm making the turkey. My mom's coming down at 2. It's like noon and I'm hungry. So I'm like, I'm eating. So I had pizza. And I'm just like, I'll eat some turkey, sure. But like when I'm hungry, I eat, man. I don't do any of this like, well, we got to be at dinner at 5 o'clock, so it's 3, so don't eat. I'm like, no, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat when I'm hungry. I did that in college, too. I would, like, walk into class eating, like a power bar or a banana or something. And my professor would be like, really? You're just, because we were in a computer lab, you're not supposed to be eating in there, but I just walked in anyway. Because I'm like, listen. Being hungry kind of supersedes any other trivial rule that's around, in my opinion. It's like, you're not allowed to eat in this room. I don't care. I'm hungry. Matt, you're not supposed to eat while you're on the job at Dollar Tree. I'm like, hey, I'm hungry, man. I got to eat breakfast. And I just had a power bar in my back pocket. My boss was cool and didn't care. But, like, the policy at Dollar Tree was you're not supposed to eat when you're on the clock. I'm like, screw you. I'm hungry. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You can't control when I'm going to eat or not. When I'm hungry and I have food, I'm eating it. All right? I'll make sure not to make a mess. I'm very careful about that, but you can't stop me from eating when I'm hungry. You can't. Yeah, it's like, you're not allowed to drink any liquids in this room. I'm like, fuck you. Cheers. You have to pee? Too bad. Yeah, that's a lot of that shit. I think that's because of just the way it is in public school is why I'm like that. Because in public school, it's like, you can, like, I got to go to the bathroom. No. What? No, not going to the bathroom. Really? Nope. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. Nope. You eat when we tell you to eat. I'm like, no. Just entitled behavior. Entitled behavior. When my stomach's rumbling, I eat. Yeah, no. There are basics. There are basic things in this world. Yep. Back in my day, we were starved and dehydrated. You're missing donations. No, I'm not. I got a thing. And let's go through some super chats. Wish me luck today. Second 10-hour shift in a row on 4 hours of sleep. Computer repair. Thank you for the years of entertainment, Matt. Makes today a bit better. You're welcome. Miles, have a good day at work. Hope it goes by quick. Oh, God, 10-hour shift in a row on 4 hours of sleep. Oh, God. All right, well, I hope it goes quick for you, man. Love the mini furnace. Oh, yeah, this thing. Ah, it actually is warm. It's a wax melter thing. It's like you put wax cubes in here and it melts. And it is warm, but it's not scalding warm. So, yeah, you're good. Do you think Eam, the Gorosei, knows exactly what the One Piece is, or do they just know that Roger hid something? Excuse me, that could threaten them. I'm burping all over the place. Eam knows exactly where the One Piece is. I think Eam might be vaguely aware, maybe, of like, there's an island that the road poneglyphs point to, and I have to make sure no one gets there. That's basically the premise. Has Eam ever been to Laugh Tale? Probably not. I still remember watching you in high school. Yeah, thank you, man. I remember being in high school doing this. Well, no, I was right out of high school when I started doing YouTube. But, well, wait, no. No, technically I started anime, like, Bleach reviews right out of high school, like, right after I graduated, like, the day after I graduated. I started YouTube when I was a sophomore in high school, and that was 2009. So we're getting close to 15 years on that. Next May will be 15-year anniversary I've been on YouTube. Oh, God. I think I actually answered a good chunk of these. Are you going to do any videos on the latest One Piece episode? You used to make them on occasion for big episodes, and seems like there's been a few lately. The last one I did, I think, was the one where Kid and Law beat... No, I did the one where Luffy went Gear 5th. That was the last one I did. I might do one when... I don't know if we get to Egghead, but I might do one when we start getting to, like, Shanks versus Kid... or the stuff with Garp. I'll probably have some stuff to say about those episodes, yeah. They keep confusing Bonnie for Connie in the last chapter. Kuma picked up Connie, not Bonnie. Connie has a hat and coat. Okay. I saw that a lot, and I was like, all right, I get it. I get the joke. Kuma picked up Connie instead of Bonnie, and people were like, you missed that! I'm like, all right. I didn't think it was that big of a joke. I thought, like, oh, okay, it's Connie instead of Bonnie. All right. But a lot of people pointed that out. Like, he didn't pick up Bonnie. He picked up Connie. I'm like, all right, they look exactly this. That's the point. That's the joke, you know? But okay. Yeah, he picked up Connie instead of Bonnie. All right. Do you think Caribou will join? Yes. Caribou will join. Gorosei had Black Den Den Mushi on Wano. They had Gorosei. They were listening in... No, that wasn't a Black Den Den Mushi. If there was a lot of Den Den Mushis on Wano, so I'm going through it right now. The one that was leaving was listening to a Den Den Mushi that I don't know if it was a Black Den Den Mushi or not, because the Black Den Den Mushis are always usually on their wrists. Typically. Not always, but usually. But there was one that was like getting hot, like the signal was getting overridden by Aramaki as he was approaching, and he was like, I'm almost there. So that might have been when he was coming into range. Yeah. I have a thought about the latest chapter regarding Bonnie's Devil Fruit. Do you think... Oh, yeah, that was the one that got me into that tangent with that. Nurehaya... No, I haven't read that yet. Huffing my copium that I don't know who joins the crew. Alakith joins the crew. I don't know who that is, but sure, he could join too. Is Devil Fruit a direct translation for Ra? Yeah, it's Akuma no Mi, I think, and it's like Akuma can mean devil. Yeah, devil, or not really demon. It is, Akuma is pretty much devil. Yeah, there's Akuma, there's Oni, there's Kishin. But Akuma is pretty much devil. Like, Oni, I think, is more demon. Although Oni's more of, like, a specific kind of demon. You could probably use Akuma as demon, but, like, I've always seen it used as, like, devil. Yeah. More gaming streams. I will play Baldur's Gate 3 at some point. I just finished it for the second time, so I'm not going to play it. I'm going to take a break for a while. But eventually, I will play that game again. And the next time I play it will be streamed. I just don't know if it'll be on YouTube or Twitch. One of the two. Will you do a fan mail stream first? Yes, I can't do it today because I got to get some stuff done after this. But I will do a fan mail stream soon. I got this really good Stitch art here from George. So I wanted to thank him for that again. I got some other art down here. I got a piece. Somebody sent me, Janice sent me a Ragnar little fluff thing. And I got some other letters. But you know what? Also, I also get stuff for Christmas. So I have some fan mail, but like not a lot of it. Maybe I should just wait until Christmas because then I'll get a lot of it. And then I could just open it all at once. Hey, Daniel Green. I haven't read 1099 yet, so I got to bounce, but I just want to say you're the best, and thank you for setting a great example for all YouTubers to follow. Thank you, Daniel. I saw your interview with Brandon fucking Sanderson yesterday. That's cool that you just, like, sat down with the guy, like one of the greatest authors of our time, and just like, hey, I'm just going to interview this guy now. I'm like, man, I wish I was Daniel Green. I wish I could talk to Brandon Sanderson. What do I get to talk to? I get to talk to a brick. That's the interview I get to do. I shouldn't say that because I did interview Nicole Hirsch-Whitaker for the One Piece live action, and she was really lovely. So I am starting to interview more people. Maybe one day I can get an interview with, I don't know, Luffy's voice actor or something. You missed my super chat. All right, D. Let's look you up. D. Where is the D? I'm not seeing the D. KJ, but not a D. That's the top of the list right there. Huh. Might be an older one. Try an interview with Matt Mercer. Dude, I would love to interview Matt Mercer. Oh, you would have more to talk about than just Law in One Piece. I would have a bunch of stuff. Oh, it was there? All right. I did miss it. All right. Let's go through this again. Oh, there it is. Oh, I was looking for yellow because it was in... Okay. Rank these three. One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. So, One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. Just in terms of, like, currently, it would go One Piece, Bleach, Naruto. One Piece at the top, Bleach second, Naruto last. I haven't had a desire to reread Naruto in a while. You know, I read a little bit of Part 1 Naruto a couple years back. But with Bleach, I'll go back and reread a lot of chapters. And then with One Piece, obviously, I do this for a living, so I'm reading it a lot. But Naruto, not so much. Especially not the latter part of the series. Oh, there's another ad that's going to run soon. Just letting you know. 50 seconds, some people are going to get an ad. Are you going to watch The Boy and the Heron from Studio Ghibli, the new studio? Yeah, probably eventually. I love Studio Ghibli's. I don't know when it'll come. I probably won't see it when it comes out, but I'll see it eventually, yeah. Do you think any human giant child is considered a buccaneer, or are their race different? The way it seems to imply that, like, it's kind of the same thing with King. Like, King is the last Lunarian, but is he? And Kuma is the last buccaneer, but is he? You know? For the sake of, like, the story as it is now, because Vegapunk could clone. I mean, he's already cloned the Seraphim, so maybe later the Lunarians could come back. He can, like, reconstitute, you know, the Lunarians and the Buccaneers. Maybe they could be, you know, brought back with, like, DNA and shit like that. But for right now, maybe they might be the last living members, yeah. Thoughts on Dragon's possible interactions with Roger as a Marine under his dad, fighting Roger in a revolutionary Shanks too. Like, well, Dragon was present at Roger's execution. And when Luffy left, Dragon was like, oh, you want to be a pirate? Well, that's fine, too. So Dragon obviously had some, I think at least a measure of respect for Roger, just doing what he was doing. Like, the idea of, like, pirates in general, like, the idea of, like, what Luffy views as a pirate, right? So, like, who said they are the last? I think it was at least mentioned King was the last living Lunarian. I don't know. Now, the people that said that were like Big Mom and like some other characters, so maybe they're not 100% sure, but it might be like the implication was King was the last one, but there could be more. Yeah. So, oh, what was I saying? Something about something. I lost my train of thought. What was it? What was it? Roger and Dragon. Okay, that was it. Okay. So I think Dragon, the overall idea of a pirate in terms of, like, freedom, right? Like, casting off the shackles of society and doing your own thing and screw the world government and the Marine, like, that kind of thing, I think Dragon likes. But the reason Dragon didn't just become a pirate was because, like, all right, being a pirate is more freedom, but it's not really focused on any particular thing. There are some pirates that fight against the world government, but most of them kind of stay away from it because they know the government is strong and can kick their asses, or at least, you know, like, like when Whitebeard rolled up to Marineford, that was not a decision he made lightly. That was not just like, hey, I'm bored, let's go fight the world government. You know, like that. Even the strongest pirates in the world are smart enough to know not to kind of fuck with the world government on that level, you know? So, and also there's pirates that like murder and pillage and burn entire towns down. So Dragon was like, all right, I like the overall idea of a pirate being free, but I'm going to focus that into a specific task, and that is taking down the world government, all right? And that's why Dragon is a revolutionary. Revolutionaries definitely have more in common with, definitely more in common with pirates than they do with Marines, obviously. But, yeah, that's where Dragon's at. Maybe he did know Roger for a moment. Probably find that out when we see Dragon's backstory. Bello Buddy has a crush on Kuma because you saw the heart. Yeah, I did notice that. I think she probably did, yeah. Kuma is a stand-up guy. He's a big dude. He's a big, tall guy. So, yeah. Bonnie probably had, I mean, not Bonnie, Bello Betty probably had, like, a little, I think she was flirting with Kuma. Yeah. In the last chapter, she was, like, sitting on his shoulder, like, flirty with him. Current state of Egghead? Well, so Egghead is very eclectic compared to all the other arcs in One Piece. But that makes sense, because we're in the final saga now, properly. You got Vegapunk finally introduced. You're finally finding out stuff about Kuma. Like, for Oda to make this make sense, or make the series good, I think, he cannot just focus solely on the Straw Hats from here on out, right? It can't just be the Straw Hat show and Noah, because One Piece has such a diverse cast of supporting characters. And Oda's trying to make sure all of their stories are, like, equalized and happening. And, like, we know what's up with Kobe, what's up with Garp, what's up with Shanks, what's up with Kid, what's up with Law, what's up with the other supernovas, what's up with the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, what's up with these characters. You know what I mean? Like, what's up with Mihawk and the Cross Guild? What's up with, you know, all these other guys? And also the world government, all the enemies. What's up with the admirals? What's up with Eam? What's up with the Gorosei? He has all these characters he has to keep, you know, managed at once. Like, we can't just focus on the Straw Hats alone from this point moving forward. We're going to have moments where we're going to cut away from the Straw Hats and see what's going on in the rest of the world. And that's going to happen a lot more frequently, just like it did in Egghead, I think. But, yeah. Like, it's very different structure-wise, but I really enjoyed it, yeah. Straw Hats had 1,000 chapters of screen time. They're getting boring. I wouldn't say they're getting boring, but you can either do this one of two ways. You can either focus entirely on the Straw Hats and just have every single important character. Now, eventually, everything is going to kind of coalesce. Just like how the islands in the Grand Line eventually intersect at one point. That's going to be what's going to happen with the storyline. Eventually, all of these story threads are going to just coalesce into one thing. And the Straw Hats are going to be dead center eye of the hurricane on that. But until then, it doesn't make sense for, like, you know, Garp to show up at Egghead, and then Shanks shows up at Egghead, and then Law and Kid show up at Egghead, and every other supernova shows up at Egghead. You know, that's not the point in the story yet, so we have to cut around to see what they're all doing, and that's going to mean taking time away from the Straw Hats. But we know about the Straw Hats. You know what's great about this series, really, is that Oda, he has his main cast, right? But it's okay to cut away from the main cast for a while, for several months, and be perfectly fine. No one stopped reading One Piece when the Straw Hats were gone for that little, like, we're seeing what's happening with Shanks and then Garp and Kobe. No one was like, oh man, Garp and Kobe, this sucks. There's no Straw Hats, this is a boring series. It's just like, no, this is 1,000-something chapters of build-up and character development in the background of all these other supporting characters happening now. That's actually really good. So, yeah, and then, like, even when the Straw Hats all got separated and they were out of the series for, like, how many arcs was that? Amazon Lily, Impel Down, Marineford, the post-war arc, they started to show back up again. But yeah, the Straw Hats were effectively out of the series, except for Luffy. I want to look into that, actually. I'm going to look into how long they were out of the series. Hold on a minute. I'm going to look that up. All right. Okay, Sabaody Archipelago arc. Okay, when did the Straw Hats all separate? You know what? Just to make it easy, this isn't going to be exact. I'm just going to go at the start of the Amazon Lily arc to the end of Marineford. Because in the post-war, they do show up again. So I'm just going to, it's not going to be an exact number. I just want to make sure. 2 years. It should be 2. Well, 2 years time skip or 2 years actual real time? Because that would be funny if it was both. All right. Amazon Lily's first chapter was 514. Marineford ended... So 514 to 580. Okay, so 514, chapter 514 was what date? Chapter 514 was September 13th, 2008. So September 2008 to April of 2010. So the Straw Hats were effectively, except for Luffy, were effectively not in this story. The main cast of characters were just not in this story for about a year and a half. And the series did really good. In fact, I just did my favorite arcs of all time poll. Marineford got number 2. Out of all the arcs in the story, Marineford ranked 2. Enies Lobby was 1. Marineford was 2. Do you know who Mr. Beast is? Nah, I've never heard of him. Yes, I know who Mr. Beast is, of course. It's like Game of Thrones at this point, yeah. Another series that did this, to a lesser degree. They wasn't as long of a time. But in My Hero Academia, when they did the Villain Academia arc and they focused on, like, Tomura and everybody, that didn't last a year and a half, but it was still an arc where it was focused on the villains mainly. And the main characters weren't even in it. So, yeah, I like that. I think that's the hallmark of a really good writer. At that point, when it's like, okay, you've built up enough supporting characters that even when you take away the main cast, it's still a really good series that people read. Collab with Mr. Beast. I actually do have an idea for a collab. I've had an idea for it for a while. I don't want to tell you who one it is, because you guys are nice, but if I tell you who it is, you guys might, like, go and, like, you know, oh, you should collab with Tekken. I don't want to bug them. So, I have, I'll see. You'll see maybe in the future. You'll see. Yeah. I have a friend like you. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. I really am. Mr. Beast is crazy. Yeah, it was Mr. Beast. Nah, yeah. What if Arrancars were in One Piece with Devil Fruits? Arrancars would be stronger than most characters in One Piece, because you know, they're like extra dimensional beings and they have way harder flesh and they have like supernatural powers. Yeah. It's nobody I've ever collabed with before. I've never collabed with this individual before. I don't want any Straw Hats to die. Well, one already did, and her name was the Going Mary. Collab with Barry's cousin, Bart the Dart. What significant thing do you think Garling could do? Die. I mean, like, in terms of a feat, what's the craziest feat we've seen in One Piece? I know we're getting into power scaling things, but, you know, what's the most insane thing we've seen in One Piece? Like, the strongest character capable of doing something. Has anybody blown up a mountain in One Piece? Okay, Kaido sort of did. Kaido shot a laser breath that blew up the top of a mountain. Fishman feet, they're webbed. Kaido dropping 10,000 meters. Kaido did pick up an island. Kaido did just break off a whole section of Wano and float it through the sky. That is a thing. Garp, splitting the sky, that's one. Like, okay. All right, now you're going to say Whitebeard for this, because I'm going to ask the question of, is anybody in One Piece capable of blowing up the Earth? You're going to say Whitebeard because it was mentioned by Sengoku. He can destroy the Earth. I don't think Whitebeard could blow up the Earth, like destroy, like the Earth physically destroyed. He could cause massive tsunamis and earthquakes that could ravage the surface of the world. but I don't think could destroy it. Okay, Fujitora controlling gravity would probably fucking do it, all right? Fujitora, if he could summon a big enough meteor, once again, I don't think would destroy the Earth, but if a big enough meteor hit the surface, it's game over for every living thing on the surface, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Aokiji did freeze millions of tons of water. I think it was billions of tons if you really calculate it out. Yeah, nobody's blown up the moon. Or nobody's done like Jackie Chun and Kamehameha just casually blow up the moon. You know, like no one's done that in One Piece. Yeah. Ugh. Okay, screw it. I'm horrible at okay, here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to do. All right? So, I mentioned earlier that the charity stream this year is going to have a particular theme through the whole stream, okay? My charity stream this year for St. Jude Children's Hospital, like we do every year, we raised over $23,000 last year for the kids, and so thank you to everybody that donated. I hope this year we can do even better. We got guests and everything like that. So, I'll tell you what the theme's going to be, because we're less than a month away now. It's after Thanksgiving. We're getting into the Christmas season. I will tell you what the theme is. I won't go into super detail though, because there's another. You'll find out in a second when the theme is mentioned. Okay. Let me just finish my power bar. Power bar. Bears. Yep, the theme is going to be bears. I will have a live grizzly bear. I will wrestle a grizzly bear live on screen for the charity stream for the kids. I will wrestle an Alaskan grizzly. Let's go. No. All right. So, the theme for this year, and I hope to have like themes in the following years. We'll see how this one goes, and you know, themes in the future. We are going to be doing an anime crossover tournament. All right. We're going to be taking characters from various series. We're going to putting them in a tournament. All right. Now, I'm not going to tell you which characters I'm using. I'm going to save that for later. I'm going to save the roster for later. We got to drum up hype for this, all right? It's coming December 23rd, Anime Crossover Tournament Mania. Okay, that kind of shit. Now, we're going to have some judges. I've asked some other YouTubers to come on, and we're going to talk about these fights. It's not just going to be me. I'm not going to tell you the roster, but I will say this, all right? So a big thing with crossover battles is, who are you going to pick usually? It's going to be crazy powerful anime characters like Goku, Saitama. What I wanted to do for this, just to make it a little bit more reasonable to determine a fight, is that we're not going to be using, and this is the reason I brought up feats earlier, because I've been reading a lot on the Versus Battle Wiki for that reason. I have been, anyone from DBZ wins, right? Well, we're not going to be using characters that have the power to blow up the fucking planet or the mountains. We're going to be using much more lower-leveled anime characters, not weak by any imagination. If any of these characters existed in our world, they would be superhumans. That would be easy. But it's also much, much easier to figure out how a fight goes when you don't have to calculate, like, okay, well, Goku's Kamehameha has this amount, like, this billion amount of joules behind it that can blow up a planet. I almost feel like I have to have a degree in, like, quantum physics to understand, like, the true power of, like, Dragon Ball Z characters, right? There's a really handy thing called the Versus Battle Wiki, which breaks it down to like a science with all the numbers, and there's a lot more math than I understand. But it's a really good wiki that ranks characters by tiers, and it puts them in different tier categories, and then there's sub-tiers and that. And you can kind of go through the whole tier list, and you can kind of look at, like, it goes from like the weakest characters ever to like characters that have powers beyond your imagination that literally don't have a cap to them. Yeah. So, Death Battle, yeah, kind of. We're basically going to be doing Death Battle. If you've ever seen well, not seen, but if you've ever played the card game Super Fight, Rustage got me into that one. It's kind of like that as well. So I'm just going to add Wang Ji. So I'm going to be drumming up some hype for this in the next coming month. I've already selected the roster. I've messaged some people to be judges for this. I've sent them the rosters, but I don't want anyone to know that yet. We're going to see where we go from there. Okay, so about a week or so before the stream itself, I'll do another stream, like a pre-stream, kind of like, here's all the characters. Basically what I'm going to do, because this is going to be a long tournament. All right, we're going to be streaming for like 9 hours. So what I'm going to do is do a pre-stream where, like, okay, here are all the fighters and who's going to fight who, all right? And we're going to have a bracket system set up and everything like that. I'm like, this person's fighting this person. This is the layout. We're going to get all that preliminary stuff before the charity stream even starts. And then when we do the charity stream, I'm going to have the judges in here, and we're just going to go, and we're going to start the tournament. So there we go. At what time will the charity stream start? Probably 1 o'clock. It's actually 1 p.m. is what I'm aiming for right now. 1 p.m. Eastern time on, yeah, pre-streaming, working smart. Oh, yeah. I've already locked in the characters, but feel free to guess on who's going to be in it. Make sure to hit up Wiz and Boomstick. You know, it's funny. When Wiz and Boomstick, I think I talked to Wiz very briefly, or I messaged him, or he left a comment on one of my videos or something, because when they did the Ichigo versus Naruto fight, I think he watched some of my videos to get like under. I think he might have left a comment on one of my like. Hold on a second. What was that? Ichigo versus Naruto, because I did 2 of them. I did one way, way, way back in the day. And then I did a more recent one after they did the Death Battle. Yeah, so during the stream, it's going to be interactive with the chat. During the stream, I'm going to like weigh in, and the judges are going to weigh in, but I'm also going to have a chat poll running, and we'll see and there's going to be like other factors. If you've ever played Super Fight, there's like factors for like certain what's the best way for me to describe this? Certain modifiers for certain fighters. So it's like, you know, this fighter might have something that gives them an advantage, others might not. And then there's also like a deck for location, all right? So we're going to have that. There's going to be variables going on too. It's not just going to be like Ichigo versus Naruto in a vacuum. No, Ichigo and Naruto are not going to be fighters in this. They're way too fucking strong. But like, you know, in that kind of level there. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hey. Oh my god, this is such an old-ass video. Such an old-ass video, man. Hello from the UK. Hi. Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember Wiz leaving a comment at some point when I was talking about Ichigo. Some video I made about Ichigo's powers, maybe. Yeah, something like that. Ooh, Vinland Saga chapter's out. Ooh, I gotta go read that. And in fact, it's actually just getting up in about an hour, so I'm probably gonna end this soon. But yeah, and then Doctor Who's coming out later today. I gotta get some stuff done before that. But yeah, so actually, there's a good weekend. There's a new season of Aqua Teen Hunger Force starts too. Rick and Morty, that's on Sunday. I'm actually enjoying the new voices in Rick and Morty are actually pretty damn solid, I have to say. Yeah. I'm not going to give any more information about the fight. Maybe I'll leak some more information about the tournament as we get closer to it, but that's all I'm going to tell you now. There's going to be a tournament, and the characters are not going to be like planet-busting, mountain-busting level of kind of characters, okay? I'll leave. Maybe they're not even all anime characters. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. But we get closer to it, and I'll drum up more shit. Did you watch Invincible? Yeah, I just finished episode 3 last night. Really enjoyed episode 3. That might probably be my favorite episode in the season so far. I think it's going to go on break again, because I think the Adam Eve special set them back a little bit, so they need more time to keep going into the series. But yeah. Yeah. Now, here's the thing, though. When I was making the roster for the tournament, I was also kind of organizing characters into, like, different tiers based off the Versus Wiki. So I was like, okay, you know, this is good for this tournament this year, but maybe next year, if this does good, I'll do another one, and we'll keep ratcheting up the tiers. So, like, okay, next year we'll go a little stronger, and then the next year after that we'll go even stronger, okay? But I think and I've messed around with this roster quite a bit. For about a month now, by the way. I've been tinkering with this. I've dropped, some characters have been added and some have been dropped, and I'm very happy with the roster I have now. It could still maybe change. I'm pretty confident with the roster I have. Episode 4 is out. All right, I got to check that out then. I'll watch that later tonight. But, yeah, we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. I tried my best to get characters from series that are pretty mainstream. Some are more obscure than... Actually, I don't even think there's anybody that's obscure. Hold on. No, I don't think there's any series that's super obscure that I picked, because I wanted it to be, like, something accessible to everybody. Yeah. Oh, no, I can't add King in. No, he's too strong. He's too powerful. Your thoughts on Yu Yu Hakusho movie? The Poltergeist Report? I thought it was okay. So, what, the live action is coming out soon. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not feeling it really on the same level I felt with One Piece. Oh, here's something I could tell you. I'll tell you this, and then I'll get going. I'll read through some super chats at the end, and then I'll get going. So my mom watched One Piece for the first time in her life. I showed her when she was down for for Thanksgiving. We actually went to go see the movie Thanksgiving. It's a horror movie, and it was okay. It was pretty good, actually. It was okay. It was for a generic horror movie from Thanksgiving. I was like, all right, this is okay. But so my mom, we waited like 15, 20 minutes until we had to go to the theater. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me show you the first episode of the live action. All right, because my mom doesn't really like animation all that much. Or rather, it's not that she doesn't like it. It's just that my mom's always viewed animation as just like, and this is something a lot like older people view it as, it's like, it's a cartoon. She doesn't really, it's really hard for her to get like invested in it, you know. It's just like, these are just drawings, these are just cartoons, they're not real people, you know, that kind of stuff. I think there's just like an inherent disconnect from that. So I showed her the first 15 minutes of the One Piece live action, and two things, she seemed to like it. Two things stood out though that I found really funny that my mom said as she was watching it. Okay, I should have filmed her reaction to it, honestly. But so it opens up in Logtown when Roger's getting executed, right? And so Roger's up, and he's about to get stabbed. And my mom, like, she looks at me, and she's like, why is the guy with the mustache smiling if he's going to die? And I'm just like, keep watching. So, and then when Roger got stabbed, my mom was like, oh, jeez. It's just like, okay, there was that. And then later, when it was pretty much right when Luffy defeated Alvida, when Luffy revealed that he could stretch, and I was like, my mom's reaction to that was pretty funny too. And she's like, you didn't tell me Luffy was like Stretch Armstrong, and I'm like, yeah. So that's that. But she seemed to like it more than I thought she would. And I think that's the thing with a lot of older audiences, is probably going to be more receptive to the live action than the cartoons. Because remember, like, when my mom grew up, and when, like, my dad, too. Like, you know, my parents grew up in, like, well, my dad was born in the late 50s, but grew up in the 60s. Cartoons were, like, Bugs Bunny and, like, Foghorn Leghorn and stuff like that, you know? And those cartoons were basically, universally, they were talking animals that were meant for children just to be funny. And that was it. There was no greater storyline or character development with, like, old school Daffy Duck or Donald Duck, except Donald Duck fought in World War II. That's canon. But, like, other than that, there wasn't an ongoing thread or character development. Like, it's like, this is Bugs Bunny's Bugs Bunny's depression arc, and he has to get back in action. It's like nothing like that. It's like yeah. My mom called Luffy Stretch Armstrong, which is like a toy back in the day that could stretch. Yeah. So yeah. So, I think they're not like way fanboying into it like the older audiences, but they're more receptive to it than watching like the first episode of the anime. Definitely. Which side of the war did Donald fight on? Well, you're going to have to go watch the old cartoons to find that one out. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that arc where Donald Duck got, he was finally tired of Bugs Bunny beating the shit out of him, so Donald finally went away on that 3-year training arc. He came back all buff, and he just, met a bunch of people along the way. It was really, really dramatic. Remember that story arc where they all join up with Michael Jordan to play basketball? That was a fun story arc, yeah. The basketball arc, I remember that one, yeah. I like Daffy Duck more than Donald Duck, by the way. Yeah. So, it's like they grew up with cartoons meant for little kids, and they got to a point where they outgrew them and just be like, all right, this is whatever. But cartoons are they're written differently they were written differently when I was growing up. And, because they had more plot threads to them. Like, even shows like Dexter's Laboratory. Like, Dexter's Laboratory was still very much meant to be a silly cartoon for children, but just the way that the premise and everything was different from just cartoon animals beating the shit out of each other for 10 minutes or whatever. It was much more slapsticky back in my parents' era. And then when I was growing up, it was Cow and Chicken, Courage, Billy and Mandy. Billy and Mandy had a plot, had continuity to it. There were characters that showed up. They're like, oh, remember this character from season 2? It's yeah. So they were focusing a lot more on that kind of shit. And then Adventure Time, which Adventure Time was a little bit after my time. That was after I was in high school. I wasn't really watching Cartoon Network anymore at that point. Codenames Kids Next Door. Codename Kids Next Door had a 5-season story arc. It was over, you had to remember things about who's this number again? Number 357. Who's that again? You had to remember shit, with that. Ed, Edd n Eddy also had character development, Avatar was groundbreaking. They did not have animated shows like Avatar when my parents were growing up. So I understand it's animation, that's just cartoons, that's just meant for kids. It's no, it really isn't anymore. There are some cartoons that are meant just for children. That's the main audience and nothing beyond that. Trust me, my friend has a lot of my friends are having kids now. So my friend Chris has his son. He just turned 1. And so I was down there hanging out at their place a couple of weeks ago, and they're just playing the children baby stuff on the TV, and just they were playing this Halloween cartoon dance along thing, we're the monsters, Monster Mash, da 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 da, and I'm just sitting there oh god, this is this is actual legitimate torture. And the song just keeps going. It never ends. And I'm this is legitimate a form of torture. This is horrible. Oh, God. Have you watched Hunter x Hunter? I'm rewatching it again. I just finished the Heaven's Arena arc again yesterday. Worst show. My gym partner's a monkey. I didn't care for it. Not too much. I also didn't really care for Robot Jones. But My Life as a Teenage Robot, that was a good one. Yeah. Avatar, the Batman. Oh, Batman came out first. Batman was in the 90s. I remember watching that was another groundbreaker, too. There were a lot of good Gargoyles was one, too. Gargoyles, Batman. There was a dark, edgy kind of shit in the 90s. And then it kind of goes back a little bit more into lighthearted. Not lighthearted, but dark humor. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy wasn't as dark and gritty as Batman, but it was very dark kind of humor is what they were doing. So that. And then Avatar was just a serious, really well-told story with a power system that people could really, wow, this is easy to understand, and it's really fascinating. SWAT Cats was awesome. Yeah. Gargoyles is a deep cut. Yeah, it's good, though. SWAT Cats was the best. Oh, that theme song to SWAT Cats was bomb. Can I play the theme song to SWAT Kats? Is YouTube going to get all pissy if I play the theme song to SWAT Kats? Season 2. Season 2 is better. I'm playing it. It's at the end of the stream. I'll read some super chats, and then I didn't draw anything. You know what? I'm going to get a tablet so then you can actually see me drawing the thing as I'm drawing it. You know, Courage Cowardly Dog 2, really good. Guitar solo. It's got lasers and cats and a jet and a magic time guy or whatever. And a huge kaiju. SWAT Kats, the Radical Squadron. Love it. Love it. Megas XLR. I played the Megas XLR. Go back and watch the opening of when I did the My Hero Academia Class 1A discussions. Go back and watch the one with Ida. I literally opened that one with a parody of Megas XLR. Yeah. Oh, man. Hunter x Hunter ending review. Okay, so... yeah, I don't know if I have time to talk about that. I did read it. So remember that ending is not the last ending. So I was a little confused when I was reading Tagashi's message. I'm glad that he did it because, like, at least he's being pragmatic about it. He's like, I really hope I can finish this series before I die. But just in case, I'm going to put this out there, okay? So I was a little confused at first, though, because he was talking about, like, the 4 endings of it. But he only showed 1, and I'm like, well, where are the other 3? So the other 3 were not revealed. But the last one, it was like, this is the one that if I were to die before it ends, just consider this the end of the story. And it was a very wholesome kind of ending that was like wraps kind of everything up in a nice like little bow, kind of like a loop around, okay? In terms of like the way it started, and it just kind of like ends on the kind of the same note, all right? But yeah, I don't know if I can get way into it right now, but let me read some super chats before I go. Yeah, the Megas XLR theme is probably one of the best ones ever. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, Lola Bunny was the best part of the basketball arc. Yeah, Lola's introduction was amazing in the basketball tournament, yeah. Oh, that was fan service. Probably, okay, that was a lot of, like, like, if you weren't a furry at that point, you might have realized it at that point. Not me, of course, because hashtag not a furry, but, you know, Lola. Will you watch The Boy and Heron as soon as possible? I mean, I don't know, dude. I'll watch it when I get around to watching it. I don't know. If it's in the theater and I'm free that weekend or whatever, I'll go check it out. Do you watch Invincible? What do you think about it? I've watched season 1, all of season, I guess season, episode 4 of season 2 is out right now. I haven't seen episode 4 yet, but I should go check that out because episode 3 ended on a really good cliffhanger. But yeah, I really like Invincible. Never read the comic. Not really a comic guy in general. I've read a little bit of Green Lantern and the Walking Dead comics, and those are like the only comics I've ever really read. But I have seen the Invincible comic like in the bookstore in Barnes & Noble. I should just buy it. Let's see. I nominate Nura Rico for this death match. Make sure to hit up Wiz and Boomstick. Yeah, I'm really excited. I've been running simulated fights, like oh, what if this character fights this character, to kind of get like in the vibe of it. I've been reading a lot on this Versus Wiki to look at feats and everything like that. Like, okay, what can this character? Because it's compiled in a really nice way of like, okay, these are the character's speed feats. And what's great about the wiki is it'll actually link to like, okay, this character can run faster than a car. And then they will put a link to the manga panel of the character in the chapter running past a car. And I'd be like, oh, thank God you're citing your sources. I love this wiki. All right, let's see. Techie 101, the One Piece Talk podcast. Okay, if I did a One Piece podcast, it'd be called Conversation Hockey. All right, that's what it would be called. And I did not come up with that name. A fan came up with it. I saved the person that came up with the name because if I ever did it, I would be like, I didn't come up with this name. This person came up with the name. But it would be called Conversation Hockey. Could you make another One Piece Isekai video? Maybe. If I come up with another idea for one. Maybe after this crossover battle, I'll do one, yeah. Let's see. How do you think the Egghead arc will end before we move on to Elbaf? Wonder how Shanks would react if he sees Luffy. You know, honestly, like if some other group of people could show up and allow the Straw Hats to escape so they can get to Elbaf, like if Dragon does show up, that actually would help them out immensely. All right, because they kind of need someone else to show up and kind of help them because like Saturn's there, Kizaru's there. It's like it's gonna be a little tough to get out of there in one piece. Let's see. I sent about 4 packages of my 3D prints a few weeks ago in beige envelopes. Yes, I have them. Yes, they're over here. Yes. We will be opening fan mail closer to Christmas. I will be doing the Xmas stream like every year. It's actually going to be very close to Christmas proper this year. It's going to be on December 23rd, which is 2 days before Christmas. I answered that one about Roger. Could Whitebeard have been a Buccaneer too? I think... So it's kind of implied that if you're a Buccaneer, you have giant blood in you. I don't know if that means like anybody that has giant blood in them is a Buccaneer. Maybe Whitebeard was. I could see it, definitely. Maybe Moria had Buccaneer blood in him too. Yeah. Would love more gaming streams. I talked about that. And then back up to Daniel. I answered all these. Yeah. When's the next field video? I don't know, man. I don't know. Haven't really found a good field. Well, I have, but it's in the middle of a cemetery. So I don't really want to film a video yelling and shouting in a cemetery. That just seems a little disrespectful. Yeah. But, you know, maybe the field will return someday. Who knows? But with that being said, I'm going to go eat my lunch and then, I guess, read the new Vinland Saga chapter. I'm actually really excited for that, where that's going, because it was on break last month. And then check out Invincible, I guess. All right. What else is... I will be making a video tomorrow on Sunday about... what's it called? The chapter. When the chapter's released officially, I'll be making a follow-up video to that. You know, talking about the actual events in the chapter in a more specific fashion. I don't know if I'm going to focus on... I might focus on Devil Fruit reincarnation tomorrow, just to kind of like solidify my thoughts a little bit more on this. Don't forget about the cult. Yeah, we meet every Wednesdays. But yeah, got to make that sort of light. So you got to figure out how to make light like actually like solid matter so I can like interact with it. But yeah, I got some stuff to do. Thanks for watching, everybody. And yeah, I'm really excited getting into the Christmas season here. This charity stream is going to be, I think, the best one we've ever done. Might even hit 30K this year. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. More about that will be as it gets closer. No One Piece break this week coming up. I think it's just the next chapter's coming out like normal. We are going to be hitting the Christmas holiday soon, so that's going to be a break there. But yeah, other than that, go watch SWAT Cats. They're the Radical Squadron. All right, everybody. Later all. Tekking signing out. Bye.